Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. At least that should be the day you're watching this. It is the final day of January, which means that tomorrow, Saturday, is February 1st, which means it is Royal Rumble in Indianapolis this year. And I'm going to be watching. So I figured today was a great day to go ahead and put out my predictions for a bit of what I would do if I was booking, a bit of what I think is really going to happen, and just my thoughts. Could be absolutely wrong, but let's start with the match that I'm thinking is going to be the one to start the show. And that is the match for the WWE Tag Team titles between the Motor City Machine Guns and DIY. It is a 2 out of 3 falls match. I know a lot of people think that DIY is going to win. I think I'm going to go with the upset here, and I am going to go with the Motor City Machine Guns. Just because I think when you bring in a tag team like that, you give them titles right away, and then you kind of stunt that run. You gotta get them built back up before your biggest show of the year at WrestleMania. The only other thing I could think of is to me, a 2 out of 3 falls match kind of seems like it's the culmination of a feud, and I could be wrong there, and you guys may see it different, but that's just my thoughts. I don't know where you'd really go from there. Are you gonna do like a Hell in the Cell at WrestleMania? I don't think you're doing that for a tag team. Especially with the way that Triple H books. He's not really been the biggest booker of tag team getting those bigger matches like that. So that's my prediction. I think Motor City Machine Guns win this, wind up bringing the titles into WrestleMania. The next match that I think is going to happen, I believe they're going to do the Women's Royal Rumble. This could also start the show, and I would be A-okay with that. They tend to be usually the better matches go to the women most of the time. I don't know that that's going to be the case on this night, but they do tend to overall have better matches on the shows. I am sorry if you're hearing my dog under the desk chewing on a bone. I know my mic tends to pick that up really well, and I apologize. So for me, the Women's Royal Rumble, I don't know what surprises we're going to get. I know there's a lot of people that want to see AJ Lee return, and I think that is a great one. But if AJ Lee returns, I would think you would have to, if it's a real return and not just a one-off, you would want that to be something major. And that's just my opinion. But I think the way that they're going to go is with a Charlotte Flair Royal Rumble win. Do I think she needs it? Absolutely not. She's Charlotte Flair. Do I have anybody in mind that I think should win it? Maybe Bianca. If you are planning to do Bianca versus Rhea, you go with Bianca in that case just because they're on different shows, and you could set that up. Granted, they've been a lot more lenient with the between shows and things like that anyway, so I don't know that it really all matters all that much. But I personally am not a big Bianca fan. I find her a little boring at times, though she's a great wrestler. She's just not my cup of tea, and that's okay. But I think if you are going to set up her versus Rhea, that is a great way to go. But I think it's going to be Charlotte. Unfortunately, that's just what I see happening. And then the next match that I'm predicting is going to go on, and this may not be the order of the card. This is just the way that I'm going to give them because this is how I think they're going to order the card. Though that Women's Royal Rumble match may be first. and that is for the WWE Undisputed Championship, or the Undisputed WWE Championship, between Cody and Kevin Owens. Now, I am a big Cody Rhodes fan, and it may just be because my name is Cody, and it's nice to hear fans chanting your name, because that never happened for me in real life. So, yeah, I'm here for it. However, I think you could set up one of the biggest wrestling rivalries to take place at WrestleMania. And if you don't have anything set in stone right now as to who's going to face who, go for it. And here is what I would do in this scenario versus I'll do what I believe is going to happen after. But what I would do, okay, Kevin Owens wins the WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble in a hellacious ladder match. With the help of Sami Zayn. And then that, of course, leads to a Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn at WrestleMania, because in that scenario, Sami Zayn is going to win the Royal Rumble, and you're going to get KO versus Sami. To me, that's one of the biggest feuds that wrestling has had in years. And, you know, it may just be my bias from recently watching the Fight Owens Fight documentary. I don't think I've ever seen them have a bad match together. And so that's what I think that I would do if I was Triple H, is I would say, you know, the WrestleMania card is in flux. You know, yes, John Cena's back. Do we really have anybody set up for Gunther? John Cena's on Raw anyways. So what you could do is you could go ahead and do John Cena winning the Elimination Chamber to fight Gunther at WrestleMania. And to me, the twofold to that is you're getting John Cena again, a 16-time world champion right now, is going to add more prestige to that World Heavyweight Championship that they just brought back, 2 years ago? A year ago? And you're going to get a huge bump up in the prestige of that title if John Cena wins it at WrestleMania, holds it for most of his run, or his last run. Now, that's just what I think is going to happen. And, you know, if that's the case, of course, my view is that you pay off the Sami Kevin feud with Sami winning his first title at WrestleMania as far as like world titles. And I think that would be a big payoff. Granted, last year I was one of the many that were disappointed that Sami got to dethrone Gunther. I really thought that should have been Chad Gable. So I feel like Sami gets a lot of push, but he is a great wrestler, and Sami and Kevin always have great matches, and I think that would be a very big WrestleMania match if you're not sure who you want to face Gunther. Now, what I think is going to happen is, unfortunately, though Kevin has been great, I've loved his promos, I've loved, you know, watching him do these bumps and talk, and a lot of the stuff he says is true. Even though it wasn't the greatest, taking the bump from Shawn Michaels there at Saturday Night's Main Event, though that event was so boring. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that believes that. I think Cody is going to win. And where you go from there, that leaves the Rumble with many options. And from what it seems like they want to do, is whoever wins the Rumble is going to be who faces Cody. I could see it go in a few ways. Obviously, if you watched Raw this past Monday, you would see that Cody Rhodes and CM Punk faced off in the ring, and they kind of put some seeds there for the potential of CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, which I wouldn't be upset about. 10 years ago, I was a big CM Punk fan, and he left. He's not the same as he once was, but I think that's a big match that deserves a WrestleMania main event. The other way you could go is you could have a John Cena Royal Rumble win, and I think that wouldn't be bad. Obviously, you've already gotten this is what I would book with Sami Zayn, so I'm not going to mention him here. My only thing is, if you're going to push John Cena into a title match right now by winning the Rumble, does he need it? Does CM Punk need it? I don't think so. So would you have it be, okay, we're going to have whoever wins the Rumble be who's going to face Gunther? And there's one more really shock thing that I think could happen. If everything is cleared and he's able to return, and that sets up a match that a lot of people thought we were going to get last year. And if it happens, it would be a big surprise. I think you would get a Brock Lesnar Royal Rumble win. And though he could look at Cody and say, yes, I want the WWE Championship, I think you would get Gunther versus Brock Lesnar. Now, that's way out there. It's barring a lot of things. Brock Lesnar being cleared to actually return to WWE. I don't know if that's going to happen. Would be crazy. Again, watching Raw on Monday, there was things that Paul Heyman kept saying that I'm like, is he teasing a Brock Lesnar return? Like, I know and I'm sure a lot of you remember this, back to WrestleMania 30. It was I'm the one behind the one in 21-1. And, at this point, he's now the one of two. But technically, he's behind both of those guys in 22 or 23-2. So it's out there. I don't think that's going to be the case. But I think the most likely scenario is if John Cena, and if I'm booking this, you've got I'm booking this options. But if it's, what are they going to do? I think from everything that I have seen on TV, we've not seen John Cena since that first Raw. I just think that is probably the way that they're going to go. I think it makes sense. This is his last run with the company. You know that he can carry the company. He's been one of your best workers, champions of all time. And I just think that's what's going to happen. So those are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy these prediction videos, definitely let me know, and I will continue to do them this year. I know last year I started doing them, and then it just kind of got away from me. I kind of lost my drive to do this, and it's back. I've been making videos on YouTube. I've been having a lot of fun, and hopefully you guys enjoy this video, and I will see you guys next time.